The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. Well, not much to talk about today, just a tiny bit of volatility again. We've had a big move in stocks, and we've had a tremendous move in the gold market, folks. We went from 1855 all the way up to almost 1900. The 61% retracement on that back was at 70. I'm posting charts in the room. I don't understand why you're not seeing them. Is there a problem somewhere? Let me do it again. I'll post it again. Hold on one second. Let me get it up here. Just give me 1 second. I'm posting them, and I'm having lots of technical difficulties, so there could be a problem. But tell me if that's not posting. If it isn't, I'm in big trouble because I can't see any of that. So, okay, all right, looking good. Billy Ray feeling good. Okay, we've had a big move in gold. The 61% retracement back was at 1895. We got to 1899. And we've had a nice move in stocks. Looks like we're going to close very strong for the week, which is near new highs, which was just about pretty much as, these things have been expected because they break and boom, they're back into new high ground as quickly as possible. So we'll watch that. There was a very big tip-off that there was going to possibly be a nice rally in the gold and silver. And I focused on that when I did the usual videos that I do every night on the gold. But you'll notice here on the silver market that you're seeing a perfect ABCD there at 27 cents, $27 an ounce. And since that time, we've rallied $1 an ounce to, get up to near the 28 again. But that was a perfect ABCD pattern, folks. And the number that we stopped at on the gold, of course, at 1855, was a 78% retracement of the last low we made. So going to be interesting to see what the open interest figures are going to be. I keep getting requests for tell stories about things that have happened to me. And I happened to think of one yesterday because I got a phone call from someone that reminded me about it. It was 1990 and we were back in Chicago. Byron had come back from New York, and we were going to Leo Malamad's birthday party that weekend, and we were there on a Friday, and it was usual day. It was not too crowded. It was crowded, but the Merc was booming at that time, and so we went into we were in the currency pit with Scott Slutsky, who ran the Swiss franc desk. And Scott was there, and I had my main squeeze at the time. I was trying to impress her. Never did work. But we were standing there, and he took her right into the pit, and she wanted to see what it was like. And so she was having a gay old time, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. The Fed came in with reverse repos, and Scott was standing next to her. And he said, "Don't move." And he yelled and screamed, and it was so loud you could see it. And I could see her. I couldn't get to her, of course, but she was in the middle at the bottom of the pit, and she was just literally trembling. I mean, her face was just chalk white. And, of course, in about 2 minutes, everything is all over. So when it was done, I rushed in there, and I said, "Are you doing okay?" She said, "Please." She says, "Take me away from these madmen." She says, "I've never seen anything so crazy in all of my life." And anyway, there's a long story behind that she got a little bit too nervous and had a tiny bit of an accident. She didn't know reverse repo from a repo on a car. So it was really quite funny. And she was friends with those guys because they had been to California to visit us. And so it was really, really, really quite funny. She took it very well, but unless you're there and see it in the heat of the battle, you really don't. I mean, it is just like the finals play of the Super Bowl in an overtime. That's how crazy it is. Anyway, that's what went on. That was one of the funnier stories that I had. Yes, it was one of those pants was a little bit of she had a little tinkling problem, but Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, we still joke about it, but it's still quite funny. Byron's got some stories. If I ever got him on here, because he was there for 7 years running Goldman Sachs and Leo's desk, and he's got some of the funniest ones. Another one was Rocky was one of the traders in the T-bill pit. Since we're talking about this on the vein, he was having a really rough time, and there's a gallery right above the T-bill pit. This was back in 1983, 84, when the T-bills were the big things going because interest rates were so high. And the gallery was there, and Rocky was there, and he walked into the pit, and he dropped his pants, exposed himself, stretched his arms way out, and said, "Go ahead, cut it off. You've taken everything else I have. You might as well take that." And, of course, the security guys came in and took him off, and then that night he took his life. He hung himself, which was really quite sad. He was a really nice fellow, but he had just he'd lost his mind. Actually, is what had happened. He'd been in that process, but and he didn't lose that much. I think he only lost about $100,000, so it was not a big deal. But that was one of the sadder moments that we had. The years I was there, the 3 years I was there, I think there were 4 cases where I think there were exactly 4. The people had actually took their life. And believe me, this is very, very stressful down there in the pits. That's why I didn't spend any time in the pits, folks. After the first month, I was up in Barry Lynn's office. I traded off a desk because I could look down and see where the runners were coming. All I had to do was pick up the phone, call the desk, and and put my orders in that way. Okay, let's get back to some of these charts that we're looking at. We had a really interesting trade last night, sent out early. In fact, everybody was able to get in to this without too much trouble. This was the euro. You'll see that we were sitting right at the 78% level earlier this morning, and we were able to buy that. And of course, it's had a huge move today, and so we're going to keep our stop at break even and see if this is going to be a good pattern longer term. Now you'll notice here, this has been a very nice 10-day correction, folks, since the 24th of May. So this could be a leg that takes us finally through that magical level of 122.60. The good part about this is we don't have to we're risk-free on this one. This is no way I will raise the stop tonight for Monday. Well, maybe I've already raised it to break even, but when I get done with the charts Saturday and Sunday night before the markets open, I want to be able to lock in some profit because it's been a nice run and I don't want to give any of that back. So there was no way that I could get anybody into the chart or any of the long position in gold, even though we were expecting a minimum of a $35 correction because that was the harmonic number. That would have taken us up to 85. I thought possibly if it was, not a very, very bullish report with these things that they bring out on Friday with jobs, whatever those numbers are, that we might only get as high as 1880, but we got as high as 1899. So it's going to be interesting to see the open interest figures and stuff when we look at them this weekend because it's going to tell us where we are. Silver didn't really do very much. It is only rallied to the 78% retracement of the high that we made. And that's actually, if you look at the silver chart on the hourly basis, you'll be able to see that you're pretty much setting at a 135 pattern, which is bearish, very similar to what we've seen here in copper. We had a really nice pattern for a sell in copper up at 453 today, and so far that has held. And we're going to find out whether that's going to be correct. But we're having great volatility everywhere, and that's good. We got Jeff Hughes, Alpha Insights coming up, folks. Stay with us, 877-927-6648.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the opening call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the opening call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of Tesla. Okay, and we talked about that 382 odd and infinitum, I guess. We were down every day this week, so this would have been a place where you maybe would expect it to rally. I don't think it's going to rally very much. I don't know what Tesla is doing today, but this stock is in big trouble, folks. I really think that it's going to go a whole lot lower, and it could very easily do that without too much trouble. And, you know, even looking what's happening with Apple, it's doing very, very little. If you look at the, hold on one second, I want to get this up here to try to show you the price pattern in the longer term picture of the, oh no, I've lost it, shut the front door. Well, I can share a nice quote from Ed Sakota. This is really a good quote. Ed is one of the original guys at Commodity Corporation that started Forex trading, along with those other dudes that did pretty well. Hold on one second here. You'll see here, charting is a little like surfing. You don't have to know a lot about the physics of tides, resonance, and fluid dynamics in order to catch a good wave. You just have to be able to sense when it's happening and then have the drive to act at the right time. And he is very, very successful. And he was one of the guys that was originally doing Forex trading way back in the early 70s when you had to have $1 million account to trade through either Citibank or one of the Asian banks or one of the European banks. Citibank really controlled the foreign exchange markets back in those days. Bruce Covener, of course, worked with Ed Sakota at Commodity Corporation for a while, and Mike Marcus also traded out of that office at Commodities. Now, I wanted to bring to your attention here, this is the NASDAQ. Now, this is a chart sent to us by Rich Anderson, and I know those of you that follow Rich. This was someone sent this to Rich. He sent it on to me to ask me if it was a valid head and shoulders pattern. If you look at this really closely, you'll see that it's a head and shoulders pattern. The one thing that it doesn't have that perfect symmetry that we like to see from the left shoulder and the right shoulder. The right shoulder is lower than the left shoulder, which is the way it should be, but the time between the left shoulder and the head and the right shoulder should be equal, and we're not seeing that. So I'd have to go back and look at the book. It's over my pay grade to look at that book by Andrew Lowe, The Non-Random Walk Down Wall Street, because they put these things in the really exotic formulas where they had to be lined up perfectly. That's why when I look at a head and shoulders, I want that time symmetry to be flat out spot on, and we don't see that. Now, the good part about this is in a few days, if we don't take out that big move that we had recently, that might be a good head and shoulders pattern. But right now, it doesn't have the time symmetry that we like to see when we're watching these. I hope that, gives you some help, because I don't I get as close to these things as I possibly can, but I miss a lot of stuff, folks. So I appreciate all the stuff that you folks send me and tell me to look for and what to be watching for. And I do appreciate all that, because I can't cover it all. So it's important that you'll let me know when you see this. Let's take a quick gander here at the Bitcoin here. We'll get this up here and we'll take a quick look at it. You'll see here we're trading at around 36,000 right now. This was as of yesterday. It's backed off today because of the tweet by Mr. Tweet himself, Mr. Elon Musk. So 36, we're still looking for Bitcoin to come down to maybe 20,000. That's what we'd like to see it get to. That would mean that would be the fifth 80% correction that we've had in Bitcoin since 2011. So it's not unusual to see these big swings. We've seen them before. Do you realize, folks, that we went from 20,000 to 3,000 and then from 3,000 to 65,000? Are you kidding me? This is not like a normal bubble, boys and girls. A normal bubble, you get the tulips out there, you get everybody buying tulips, and then you take the tulips away. This is not what this is. You've got big money coming in this stuff. These are $1 trillion markets. So maybe it is. It might be Mr. Ponzi reinventing it again. But boy, it certainly doesn't look that way just by the way that it's acting and all the news that you see about it. And it's such a new thing that most people don't know anything about it. And raise your hand, Larry, and I happen to be one of them. So let's remind ourselves that these things are very, very volatile, and you got to know exactly, what we're looking at here. If you remember, we talked a little bit about that GameStop yesterday. Someone asked me to bring this up again. You notice here, this stock went right up to the 78% level, within $1, folks. It got to 297.90, and the number was 298.70. So it was within $1, and then of course it backs off of $40 or $50. But it's been following the numbers, extremely well all along. And the same thing with all the others that we look at. Whenever you have the public involved in these charts, folks, you're going to see symmetry, just like you look at when you're watching the euro or the S&P, which is another good one that's doing pretty good. Now, I've got another chart that I think is really interesting here, and this is the platinum, because we're looking at a potential here. If the platinum, this comes from a man who's in the platinum business across the pond over there, but you'll notice here that if we get to 1055 in the platinum, and that's been the weakest by far, it broke down pretty badly, so we're heading towards that 1055 level. If you trade platinum, you really want to watch that, because it's got a lot of things going for it. Look at the highs going back to 2017, and that's going to be the 382 retracement, folks. 1095 will be the 382 retracement of that move. And not only that, but it's going to be the biggest correction that we've had in well over a year. So I don't trade platinum, but I've certainly got it on my watch list. I might even, change my mind and decide to go in it. I did do something this past week that I thought I would never do before. Hold on one second. I have to bring this up because you're not going to believe this one. And this right here happens to be hold on one second. I'm laughing to myself because when I called Twentyman up, Sunday night, and I said, Twentyman, I said, we got to sell coffee at 164. Or I think I said 164. The high was 164.50. And he said, what do you mean? He says, you haven't traded coffee since 1966. And I said, yeah, I know. And he said, well, you want to do it? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So I did a coffee, and it made 10 cents. So I was happy. But that's the first time I've traded coffee since Hector was a pup, and that dog's 36 years old. Anyway, I probably will not go back into the coffee market again, because at least I did it as a trial to see if these patterns actually worked. But the reason why I stopped doing the coffee, cocoa, And orange juice was because all of those pits back in New York were controlled by cousins and uncles and brothers and sisters. I mean, it was a nepotism fest back there. And boy, if they found a way to cheat you, they could probably do it right out of Trading Places, folks. That's where that stuff. By the way, the Trading Places, that orange juice pit was actually the silver pit in New York. You folks probably already knew that, but that's what it was. And many of the people, well, all the people in that pit were traders. I mean, that's what they fought to see who could get in there because they all wanted to be in the movie. But that's neither here nor there. I took Tom Hugard to New York to see the pits and stuff and go to the New York Stock Exchange when Bobby was still alive, and we got to go to the New York Stock Exchange members room and have a lovely lunch. But we took him to the floor of the New York Merc, where they traded cocoa sugar and all that other stuff. And Tom made the unfortunate well, I'll tell you in just a minute. He tried to take a picture and they threw him out. 877-927-6648.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Jeff Hughes from Alpha Insights on the line. Jeff, are you there?
I am here, Larry. How are you?
Well, I'm above ground living the dream, and I want to give you a salutation, my friend. You were here on a couple of weeks ago and said, get ready because we're ready to rock and roll higher, and you have certainly been spot on. You want to start to tell the folks what we should look for now? I'm looking at this percentage of stocks above the 550-day moving average. That's the chart I've got up right now.
I'll tell you, there's a number of breadth measures that are just nothing short of impressive right now. And the number of stocks now trading above their 50-day moving average on a percentage basis, both in the NYSE and the NASDAQ, have both rallied sharply off of their May lows. And so if we think about NYSE stocks, we were down to around 50% or so. We're now about 74, 75% today. And if we think about the NASDAQ stocks, we got down to just 24% of NASDAQ stocks above their 50-day moving average. We're now at 51%, so that's doubled just in the last couple of weeks. So this measure of breadth is suggesting that the market is broadening out across not just the S&P 500, but the massive composites of NYSE and NASDAQ stocks, roughly 10,000 stocks.
Wow, that's really amazing. Now, you're looking at your net new highs. I mean, they just keep barreling away, don't they, the upside?
Yeah, advancing volume has been fantastic as well. I mean, we've seen net new all-time highs in net advancing volume, both on the NYSE and the NASDAQ as well. And if we look at cumulative new highs across all U.S. stocks, period, we're at new all-time highs as of yesterday, and probably today. They reported at the end of every day, but based on today's action, I'd suspect we'd set another new high today. And frankly, you could even take a look at the advanced decline line, which is the NYSE's net advancers minus decliners on a cumulative basis as well. And again, we set a new all-time high on Tuesday. It ticked down a little bit yesterday, but I suspect with today's action, we'll make another new high today. And what's interesting about all of this is the fact that this is indicating that the market is exceptionally broad. It continues to broaden out, and it's hard to call this anything short of a correction under those conditions. You have to be bullish right now.
Oh, well, just looking at this chart, it's scary. I mean, it's just really a really powerful chart. And stop and think where these things are making new highs. We have a question from one of our listeners, and you were on a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's a request. Would you be able to come on maybe towards the end of the month and say maybe around the 23rd? Would you be able to be available that day?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm open on the 23rd, so I'd be happy to.
Okay, that's great, because you were on the last time and said we were going to go sharply higher, and these folks take notes and they remember these things, so we certainly have you back on the 23rd. Now, here's a thing on the small caps with the Russell, because that's been lagging a little bit, and you want to tell us what you're looking at here?
Yeah, what I see in the Russell is a symmetrical triangle that's really kind of a multi-month. It goes back to mid-February. We saw a peak. We came back down and set the first point on a 5-point triangle pattern. We rallied up to a new high in March, brought it back down and set a higher low, and then made another lower high in April and a higher low in May. And now we're challenging the upper boundary of that symmetrical triangle. And what I think is interesting about this is if we take a look at momentum, which is the lower panel of the chart, momentum has already broken out of a structured downtrend, and it has turned decidedly positive. And to me, especially with today's action, it looks like we're going to make another new high in momentum now. Just between the time that I published this chart and sent it to you versus where we're at today, we're already making some new highs. So my thinking at this point is it's telegraphing a breakout above the upper boundary in that symmetrical triangle. Now, the pattern itself, and I'm using the IWM, which is a ETF of the Russell 2000, to kind of express this view. That pattern counts to about 252. We're at about 226, 227 right now. So key resistance is 230. Once we close above 230, I think we can, with confidence, project that target to 252. Initial support's 222. If it breaks 210 to the downside, it's over. We're wrong, and we move to the sidelines.
Okay, wow, that's good. Now, you've got a chart here, AAWW, Atlas Air Worldwide. I haven't even heard of that stock, but hey, I don't know anything about stocks. So you want to tell us what
back in my investment banker days at Merrill Lynch, I helped take this company public. And what it is, it's an international cargo company. They own a bunch of 747 transatlantic, trans-Pacific cargo planes. And so all of this productive production that's being produced in China that's coming to the U.S., they can't find any containers anywhere, right? So they're putting it in planes and flying it over here now. And so Atlas Air is really experiencing a tremendous benefit from that. And so, you know, a lot of people like this whole small cap idea, but they want to play individual stocks. And Atlas Air is one of these small cap names. You know, it basically looks like it's breaking out of a multi-year base formation of the inverted head and shoulders variety. And it's made a new all-time record high last Monday. And so, or this past Monday, rather. And as long as I think we can hold above, you know, kind of the $70 level, which is the 10-week EMA or the 50-day moving average, if you will, then I think this looks like it could rally right up to around $89 initially, and then probably $135 longer term. So we've got really good momentum, really good relative strength, and a really good pattern that's resolved to the upside. And those are kind of that's the checklist that I'm looking for. So we've checked all those boxes. I would look for a rally to 135 in the next 6 months. And, you know, critical support would be 62. If it broke 62 to the downside, it's over.
Okay, makes sense. Now, we have a question for one of our listeners. Are you looking at anything in the cryptocurrencies or blockchain area at all?
Yeah, you know, we've been real bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum all year, but we just downgraded Bitcoin about 2 weeks ago because it broke critical support. And so our discipline is just move to the sidelines when things break down, reassess. You can always buy it back if it makes a new high. Now, on the flip side, we continue to like Ethereum. Ethereum held above critical support, and it looks to us like it's got the chops to make a rally back to its old highs around 42.50. And so we would be buyers of Ethereum here.
Wow. Do you want to tell the folks how they can reach you, Jeff? I'll post this up so they can see it in the room here, but give us a little insight on how we can go to your website.
Sure. It's jwhinvestment.com, and if you want to get a copy of today's chart deck, I'd be happy to send it out. Go to my website, send me an email from there. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at alpha_insights. I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, and also something known as the Trade Exchange, which is a place you can see some of my trades live.
Wow, that's really cool. Hey, thank you, and we'll see you on the 23rd. And be safe, my friend.
Always a pleasure, Larry. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back, folks.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, folks, we're back, and we have a request from someone who used to live in San Luis Obispo and was familiar with the old trading house that we had there, and I just wanted to bring your attention to something here quickly, and I will tell you a story behind it. I posted the chart of Facebook, and you'll notice here that's been the strongest of the of all of the FANG stocks by far, and so that still looks good. You'll notice that we're at that little 5-day correction stopping at a 38% retracement of the previous low. That is very bullish, folks. I mean, there's hardly any selling coming into that stock, and you can see it today by it being up so much. So that's the reasoning, behind the Facebook. If you look at Apple, it doesn't look anywhere near that, and nor does Amazon, Netflix, Tesla, the other ones, but Facebook certainly does. Now, Hector is asked to tell the story about there's a bar, Harry's Bar in Pismo Beach, California. It was started and owned by John Madden, none other than the great football coach who was at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And that place was a place where the college kids hung out. Then after Madden left, it became a biker bar. Well, they played pool in that biker bar, and they played pool for serious money. And my friend Bryce Gilmore would come out several times a year and spend 1 or 2, 3 months at a time in the house there at Pismo Beach. And every weekend he would be hanging out at the bar there in Pismo Beach. And believe me, folks, it was a biker bar, and it was really, really tough. But he acclimated really well. He didn't put up with any baloney. But one weekend, he was there playing pool, and 2 of his buddies had come in from Los Angeles that lived in Australia. So I was in Chicago, and I didn't stay at the house anyway, but Twentyman did. And they had a party. And when I got back Sunday night late, the party was, I guess, Friday and Saturday. It lasted a couple of days. There was so many bottles of booze in the bags and stuff where the garbage man picks it up. I didn't know what happened. So when I went in, I asked Jim. He said, "Oh, Larry," he said, "he had a party." He said, "You just can't believe it." I said, he said they had truckloads of people that would come by the house drinking. And I said, "Well, the house looks normal." He said, "Oh yeah, they cleaned it up good." He said, "But believe me," he said, they really had party. And I said, "Oh my goodness." Well, anyway, the time goes by. About noontime that day, someone knocks on the door, and it's the sheriff. And I knew who he was, and I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Well," he said, "we got some complaints about the party." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "I wasn't home. I have nothing. I don't know what to say. What should I do?" And he said, "Well, just take it easy." And I said, "Well, okay," which I never did again. But boy, folks, those guys from Australia, when they start to drink, holy cow, it is really unbelievable. But they had a good time. That's for absolute sure. I could tell some wonderful stories about Bryce Gilmore that were really a lot of fun. In fact, when I first met Tom Hugard in 1984, 2003 in Las Vegas, Bryce came in from Australia to do a 3-day seminar. It was going to be a live trading on Friday and then Saturday and Sunday teaching. And he came in on Wednesday, and those boys from LA came over and partied with him again. And he didn't make the call Friday morning at 6 o'clock when they were supposed to start trading. And Rich Anderson happened to be there because we're all friends. Mark Douglas was there, and he came up to me and said, "Well, you're going to have to take over because we don't know where he is." And I said, "Well, he's probably out having fun." So I started to give a little lecture and talk like I usually do. We started trading. We had a really good day trading, and Tom Hugard was in the room, and he enjoyed it very much. And it turned out to be pretty good, and it made Tom and I very, very good friends over the years. And but it was really funny. So he finally comes in around 12:30, sort of embarrassed. And he said, "Oh," he said, "I was hoping you'd be here." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "Not a problem." I said, "I had a lot of fun." And we did. And so we took everybody to dinner that night. There were 30 people. And so we went to Smith and Wolinski for dinner, and we had a very good day trading. And so what Bryce did was he bought a set of these Smith and Wolinski carving knives for everybody. It was 4 knives in the thing. It was like $200, and he paid for all of those for everybody. Plus he paid for the dinner. It was a little over $6,000 for the whole thing. But he deserved it. He didn't show up when he should have been. Okay, let's move on to another one. I'm going to post something here, folks. This is the what we're looking at here for the artificial intelligence program here for today. You'll notice here we are in watch the last 2 hours of trading, folks. We're coming up to that very, very shortly here in about an hour. And so around 1:30, 12:30, yeah, around 12:30. Yeah, in about 45 minutes. Watch that about 1:30 in the afternoon here, because that could be a top. I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be, but if it does, you might get a sell-off of 3 points or 2 points maybe in the E-mini S&P. But it certainly doesn't look bearish today, folks. We've had this big move from 41.82 all the way up to 42.22, and it's still going. So we'll pay close attention to that as we walk through these things. So let's remind ourselves that that's what we want to be doing. Now, I wanted to bring to your attention one other stock. Hold on one second here. Someone's asked me another question, and I'm trying to get it to answer it here, and that is the stock of, where is that dirty rat? Oh, please don't tell me. But there it is. It's not the stock. It's the crude oil I want to talk to you about. Here's where we are. Folks, I'm the only person in the world that's not bullish this crude oil. I was short yesterday. We made about a point in it, which was good. And then today we had the run up. We did not make the 1.618 expansion up there at 69.75. We got as high as 69.55. To me, on the daily chart, this is a false breakout. If you look at this, this is a 3-day pattern with lots of ABCDs up in here, and it should be doing like gold. It should be going absolutely, screaming to the moon, and it's not actually doing that. Let me double check this. Might be wrong, because the last time I checked it wasn't. Yeah, it's trading at 69.43. The high has been 69.75. Oh my gosh, it did hit shut the front door and raise the rent. I didn't even see that. Wow. There, oh, look, there, let's bring this up here and let the boys and girls look at this. We hit it. Well, maybe these numbers do work after all. You'll see it made the 1.27 expansion there at 69.72, and that was a number, and now it's backed all the way off. It dropped to almost a full point, and now we're rallying back. To me, this is not a valid breakout in the crude oil, but I stand corrected on a lot of things, and I'll be watching it, of course. But I think that it's got a chance here for a pretty substantial break. It's in the news so much, folks, it scares me. And that's when you see things in the news all the time, they're starting to feed you tapioca, and then if you don't like tapioca, you better be careful. And I'm a big tapioca fan, but I don't want to overeat. So I'm watching this for a pretty substantial move to the downside. If we close above $70 a barrel, I'm going to have to say uncle and just stand aside on it. But right now, I still think it's got a chance to to move to the downside. So remind ourselves of that. On Monday, we have none other than Norman, who calls it to the minute Winsky. We've got this solar eclipse coming up here this week on the 10th, I believe, and we'll have Tim Bost on that day. So we've got some great guests, as always, as we see these things. I would like for you to keep in mind those charts that Jeff showed us, because it shows you the breadth of this market and how strong it's been. So we tried once or twice to nibble at it from the short side. They ended up being break evens. We had one small loss of 3 points. Hey, we'll be back. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get this chart up so the folks can see what we're looking at. Just give me 1 minute if I can find it. People asking me about it, and I wanted to be able to bring it up. That's Planeteer. Hold on one second. Get the thing. I don't know anything about this stock other than it belongs to the CIA or whatever it is. Hold on a second. The people have asked me to take a look at it here. We've had a pretty nice run here. Here is a situation again. You're looking at a stock. Hold on. This is a stock that's screaming, please sell me, because we're right at the 382 retracement, folks. from the high that we made way back when in February, and it's taken 2 solid weeks to get up here at 25. We're now trading at 25.32. There should be a great deal of resistance there at that 25 level. That is a very, very interesting chart. You'll notice it just missed the 78% retracement on the downside there on May 10th. And now it's had this rally that's been 3 weeks. And in fact, it's 3 weeks from the 10th to the 4th. And we're right there right now. So that stock should have a lot of resistance at 25. Now, above 25, it's smooth sailing, but that is a 382 off of that high that we made way back in February. So I would be very, very skeptical of buying this stock up in here because you've gone from 17 to 25. And without a correction, by the way. You can see we had that little tiny one on the 10th or 11th, but then we went to where we are. We got that solar eclipse coming in, which will be really interesting on the 10th to see what happens with that. We'll have Tim Bost help us with that, and we'll have Norm Winsky help us on Monday to give us some of the timing stuff to look at, because it's been pretty interesting to watch this stuff unfold. So I hope these things help. Remember to try to help your neighbors the best you can, folks. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude. And God bless, and please do some good for some other people, folks. There's folks out there that really need help. But they're probably your neighbors, and you don't even know it. So just keep that in mind. You can only give so much, folks, and you can't take it with you, as Bob Holt proved. 877-927-6648.